This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. I need to figure out how to word this better because I've said it a million times. Like, just when you think you've seen it all, something like that. Or it's shocking. And this is right up there because this isn't even something I've ever even thought about. But I just saw this and I realized what's behind it. Because at first people are going to go, oh, what's the big deal? And then they're going to realize how they're feminizing men more. Look at this article. A new male birth control pill might be safe, but there's a ways to go. Are you kidding me? Now you might say, well, what's wrong with that? Women can take birth control. And I'm saying this from the perspective, obviously as Christians, we have a different perspective than everybody else out there as far as having sex before marriage. But from this perspective of people who take birth control, and then might say, well, if women can take it, why can't a man take it? Well, that would involve suppressing testosterone, okay? And we already live in a world where the majority of men don't have testosterone because most of them don't have a pair of balls anymore. I mean, we're seeing men wearing makeup. We're seeing men dressing as women. We're seeing men more interested in their clothes than anything else. We're seeing men who are afraid of confrontation. We're seeing men who, instead of confrontation, would rather run to Big Brother and cry for help. So we've already seen the destruction of man in today's society and the rise in feminism. But now we're actually going to see it chemically occur inside of the body. And you don't think that this is going to lead to more confusion amongst men as far as their gender identities? Can we still say that? Many people are looking forward, this is the article, by the way. Many people are looking forward to a time when men will be able to take an oral contraceptive. If you're a man out there and you've been looking forward to a time when you could take an oral contraceptive, please raise your hand. No hands were raised. I've never even thought of something like this, let alone, have you ever run into a guy and he's like, oh, man, if only they would make this male contraceptive. Because, we need it. And of course, this also has to do with population control and all this other stuff. But let's be realistic about what this is going to do. It says the challenge with hormonal birth control suppressing testosterone in men to super low levels while avoiding the side effects of low hormone levels, such as changes in sexual function. Why don't you just give them estrogen already? I mean, Boy, oh boy. I mean, and they have the pictures in the article of this is just unbelievable. Researchers have looked at a number of ways to do this, not only through a pill, but also through an injection and a topical gel. So, wait, the injection, of course, let's just vaccinate men with something that'll lower their testosterone levels and be used as a contraceptive pill or contraceptive shot, I should say, vaccine. And then we'll also throw in stuff that'll give you, put autism in your system and give you Alzheimer's. Boy, that was just for them. That's like killing two birds with one stone. I could see the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers rolling over laughing if this actually occurs in their lifetime. I'm sure it'll occur at some point now that it's actually out there. Because, again, this is how predictive programming works, right? They start testing the waters about this. They start saying, and then women will be empowered and they'll say, yeah, why can't the man take the contraceptive? Why do we have to be on the pill? Then both will be on it and both will be, it's just, I'm just glad that I'm getting older, Sometimes I go, I'm getting too old for this blank, this crap. And then there's like days when I see stuff like this and I say, I'm glad I'm getting old. Because, I don't expect to be around in my 70s. And, seeing the way things are going, can you imagine how much more feminine men are going to be when they start doing this? It's already hard enough to take. So now there's a new drug in pill form, they're saying, which has been evaluated for safety through not effectiveness. The preliminary results of the latest drug, which goes by the abbreviation 11-beta-MNTDC, were presented Monday at the annual meeting of the Endocrine Society. The trial included 40 healthy men ages 18 to 50, including 10 who received a placebo. Despite low testosterone levels in the men taking the drug, the abstract notes no serious adverse events and a handful of cases of fatigue, headache, acne, decreased libido, and mild erectile dysfunction. Also, these same side effects you'll find from eating processed food or chemtrails or getting a flu shot. Coincidence, right? It says, if this seems like deja vu, the same research team presented a similar drug called DMAU last year at the same conference. The drugs are synthetic molecules that bear similarity to male sex hormones, namely testosterone. The two drugs are like brother and sister, explained one of the senior investigators, Dr. Christina Wang. What a coincidence that the doctor's last name is Wang, and we're talking about male birth control. Can't make it up. Wang explained that when it comes to drug development, researchers don't always put their eggs in one basket. Oh, that was clever too. See? If one doesn't work as expected, perhaps there's a backup. Experts say the drugs signal to the brain that testosterone levels are adequate in inhibiting the pathways that ultimately lead to the production of sperm. Wang said that the new drug is meant to mimic testosterone's effectiveness in other parts of the body, which could be how it avoids major side effects. I mean, there's nothing natural about this, so why would any guy do this? It may not stimulate sperm production in the testicles because the drug itself might not pass over from the bloodstream, but that theory could only be fleshed out with future research. So they go on to talk about, BS stuff about how safe it is, how it's the future, how eventually it's going to be here and it's going to be normalized in our society. Meanwhile, I mean, when you think about it, is there really even a point to this? Because, most men are not sleeping with women anymore. They're sleeping with other men. And eventually, most men are going to be sleeping with robots. Right? So maybe they won't even feel a need for this because they've divided men and women so much recently that we don't even see men in today's society. And they're brainwashing more and more people to come out. Boy. Could you imagine what this is going to do to people? I already wonder about that when I see the behavior of men, especially like when I cover, these YouTube trending videos, and these aren't real men, I don't know what they are, but they'll even admit to that because they'll say that they're gender neutral. They don't identify as a gender anymore. And, their voices change and they're so like thin and tiny and petite, it's like men want to have like sooner or later, I guess, I don't even know if they do that already. Do they do waist size the same for men and women? I guess they do, right? Like, I know, we'll see men wearing, 10-inch waists. I mean, that's how ridiculous this is going to get. Even though their body wasn't naturally developed to do that or to be that thin, I don't think. But, man. So, this is the future, folks. This is what our world holds. And this is, if I read this, I would have thought it was on The Onion. I mean, I really would have thought it was just fake news. They have all these pictures of, like a health class in this article. Then they're showing birth control pills for men, and they're showing condoms and contraceptives and how contraceptives have evolved. Oh my goodness. I mean, you can't make this up. I guess the best way for them to do this is to go the vaccination route, right? Because it's just another way that they can get people vaccinated, right? I mean, think about it. Because a guy might be like, well, what if I forget to take the pill one day? I always forget to take my pills. Oh, don't worry, we got it covered. Just get a vaccination every 30 days, every 60 days. Imagine that and how much chemicals will be pumping into people, how much sicker, the aluminum and all the other crap that's in there. What they'll be doing to them, and then they're, potentially if they have children, the side effects that they'll have. I mean, this world is messed up. Really, truly is. But only CNN you can rely on. And trust me, I know all these, outlets from the left and the right are all just propaganda, but you can always rely on CNN for a good laugh when there's a dead serious article about men being on the pill. And she said, the doctor says in the article that she expects people will have to wait roughly a decade for the contraceptive to hit the market. So maybe this fits right in with Agenda 2030, right? Fits perfectly in, right? Why don't you just make it in even 11 years? The pill's called 11, right? 11 something. What did I say it was called? Let me scroll back up. 11 beta MNTDC. So 11 years from now, the 11 pill can come out right in time for Agenda 2030. Sound like a plan? Sounds just like how they operate, folks. And you'll hear this pushed by the mainstream when it's time to do it, how it's a good thing. And why should women be the only ones? And Men will be like lining up at that time. 10 years from now, you think men are bad now? 10 years from now? I don't even expect to be here in 10 years from now. Maybe I'll be assassinated by then, or maybe I'll just go peacefully in the night. But I don't know if I want to be around in a world where men are deliberately doing this and lowering their testosterone levels to take a pill that's going to tell their brain that they still have the right levels of testosterone. Huh? And then suddenly the man's voice changes. He's lactating. He suddenly starts speaking like a woman. I mean, whew, the New World Order sure is coming fast, folks. I thank you for listening to today's show. God help these men out there. God bless you and your families.